Welcome back. I'm Yi-Cheng, your Mandarin teacher online. This is our LLT studying group again. And in this series, we are learning a language for travel, or let's learn together. I am learning Hindi. What's your target language? I'm also teaching Mandarin in this series about what I learned in Hindi. And then you're gonna write down and practice the version of your target language. If you haven't checked out LLT1, in that one, I ask a couple important questions before we start learning. And then I would like if you write it down or you have a clear answer, because I write it down on my PPT and I even post it online. So I do make it clear about my answers for those questions. In LLT number 2, we talk about basic structure, sentence structure of your language. So for me, in Hindi, I write down what is the subject. Where do you put your subject? Where do you put verb? Where do you put object? What about in your target language? In Mandarin, I also explain the basic structure. And then in that episode, we also talk about how to say the nationality. So for example, I am Taiwanese. How do you say it in Hindi? How do you say it in Mandarin? How do you say it in your target language? Especially that sentence is according to the basic sentence structure. Now, in LLT3, we're talking about greetings. There are a lot of ways to greet people in every language, I believe. But as we say, the slogan of this series is learn the essential, keep it minimum. So for me, I'm just gonna remember one phrase, and I believe a lot of you have heard of that one. That is namaste. Namaste. It actually means I salute you, and it's like I greet you and so on. If you do yoga or you do meditation, I think you have heard of this phrase. Even if you don't, you probably have seen people say that when they do yoga, when they finish yoga, I think, and then when they finish a meditation. Of course, in Hindi, there are a lot of other greetings phrases like good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and so on. But in one of the video I have watched, in that video, she mentioned that a lot of people in India now, they just use English phrase and so on, and most of them understand that part. I think the greeting part is okay for me. When I say okay, I mean learning one and just use one is enough for me. And also a key thing. In a lot of language, I believe there is a very formal phrase for greetings. Maybe for the native speaker, they don't use it with their friends because it's super formal and usually is used in like formal situation or like maybe when you are greeting strangers or greeting foreigners. I'm a foreigner for them when I travel to India. So for now, I'm just gonna use this one, learn this one, remember this one. Namaste. How about in your target language? What is that one must learn, must remember phrase for greeting? In Mandarin, we have a very similar one, kind of like very formal, and maybe you don't use often with your friends or family, but you do use it to maybe your coworkers that you are not like close enough to be like close friend kind of coworkers, or you use it also with your clients or like the people you're gonna talk or make business with. It's kind of like showing the politeness to a standard, kind of like I treat you with honor and politeness, kind of formal feeling. So it's quite useful when you're greeting strangers, when you're greeting foreigners and so on. Of course, when you are so close with your family, your friends, your buddy. You don't need to use this phrase. You can just use English, hi, like that. So I'm gonna teach you, of course, one of that classic formal one that people online would say, don't use this one to greet people. Of course, we probably don't use this to greet my friends, but we do use this to when I see a foreigner come to Taiwan and I want to greet them. When I greet maybe a new client I first met, a person I first meet, and I will use that one. So learning this one is still helpful. This one, 你好,你好. You see, it's two third tone words together. So it's two third tone words in a row. Keep the one at the back remain as third tone. The one in front of it become second tone. So 你好,你好, second, third. It literally means you, and how can means good or well. So instead of meaning you are good, it's more like I wish you a good day. I wish you are having a good time here today and so on. I hope you are doing well. So I would say it's kind of similar to this one, namaste. And then the reason why I kind of highlighted in blue is a lot of online lesson and videos will say, don't learn this one, don't use this one. But remember our goal? We're learning it for travel. If you come to Taiwan and live here for so long and then you already met some friend, of course you will not use this one to your friends. But when you first meet person, you finally meet and then you guys can finally talk and greet each other and so on, practice language. This is a good phrase to use. Okay, that's why I would still recommend you, especially in this series, when you are traveling as a traveler and you are a foreigner, right, to a Mandarin speaking area, this is still very helpful. Next one I'm going to teach you, if you don't want to sound so formal, you can learn this one. 早安,早安. 早 means morning or early. An is like, it comes from wishing you peacefulness. An, okay? So I wish you have a early or peacefulness in the morning. Easier way or even more informal way is 早, 早, just say 早. And we have good noon specific as well. Around 12 o'clock p.m., so noon time till before 1 p.m. Because after 1 p.m., it's not noon time anymore. So around this period of time, you can say 午安,午安. 午 is noon time. An, as I explained, peacefulness, being safe, and so on. So good noon, it makes more sense when you are using it around this period of time, 12 p.m. to 12:59 p.m. We don't have a literal good afternoon or good evening, but if you're learning the Mandarin from China method or way, or the things they would use, they do have that. But in this case, I'm just gonna teach essentials and what we use the most in Taiwan. So if you don't wanna learn or remember this very formal one, you can use 早安 and 午安, or just use 早 and 午安. What about the rest of the time? What if it's really afternoon, evening, nighttime? Well, just like in Hindi version, just use English word. Hi. If you don't want to sound formal, that's my, go-to. If you don't want to sound formal, use this too, combined with English phrase. Hi. And then the next one I'm going to talk about is not really greetings. It's more like farewell phrase. The goodbye phrase for nighttime, which is good night. It's not good evening. This one is really before you go to sleep. Saying goodbye at nighttime. This one is 晚安,晚安. 晚 means late or night. So 晚安. Remember, this is not greeting form. So what would I recommend? Personally myself, I would say if you come here for travel and just for a period of time, not like a long time, you haven't met friends here yet, you are not close to anyone yet. If you first time meet those people, personally, I recommend Ni Hao is very good. It is formal, yes, but since when is formal a bad thing? I don't know why, but I like this one. Ni hao is very polite when you use to the person you meet for the first time. For me, even if when my friend introduced me to one of their friends that I have never met before, I would still use this phrase. I would still want to show like kind of like a greeting in a formal, polite, and honor to them, kind of like that. And then say, oh, hi, 你好. You see, I do combine with English phrase, but I still use 你好 in this case. So, do native speakers use this phrase? Sure, we do. At least I do. At least people around me do. It just depends on what occasion. And I think LLT studying group, for our reason that learning a language, this works. So this one I would recommend. And then if you want to learn a phrase for like after you guys gathering together at night and gonna say goodbye, you can use 晚安 or saying this before you go to sleep is also good. If you want an informal way for morning time, so before noon, you can use 早. This is quite good as well. But if just choose one, because we want to keep it minimum, I would choose 你好 as a traveler for you. So enough rumbling. I don't know what is that phrase, but let's practice. Hindi version, namaste. Namaste. Your target language, what are you learning? Make sure you write down your answer for this part in the comments down below and let's share it together. Maybe because you comment down below and then I will get to learn a new language greeting way from you. Next one is the Mandarin version, 你好.你好. It's a formal one, but it's useful, especially as a traveler. When you go to a Mandarin speaking area and then you meet those people for the first time, it's quite nice to use it. It's kind of like, hi, hello, you good? I wish you a good time. I hope you are doing well. Next one, 早安, 早安, good morning. Short form, 早, 早, 午安, 午安, good noon. Around 12 p.m. to 12:59 p.m. It makes the most sense during that period of time. There's no short form for this one. Oops, my cat. Next one. 晚安,晚安, good night. It's more of a farewell phrase instead, used while saying goodbye at nighttime or before sleep. So, I hope you learn your greeting ways in the target language of your choice, and I indeed learned mine. Namaste. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for learning with me today. I will see you next time. Bye!